Right, so today's video we're going to look at the Bawoo Garage Light. This is designed for use in garage or workshop, and quite a clever idea, I think, to make changing lights pretty straightforward. So what you've got is a E27 lamp socket there, and I also bought on Amazon along with this. This was £25. This was £4 for four. An E27 lamp holder. You've got the cable entry just there, two mounting holes, one either side, and then you've got the terminals, and in this case you've got your live, which is marked by the 250 volts, and your negative, which is there, or neutral. And I've got one of these connected up and it's working fine, there's no issues with this. It looks quite flimsy, like the edges are flimsy, but the actual bit that holds it, those brackets, is quite thick plastic. I don't think you'll have an issue with it not being able to hold the weight of these. So the actual unit itself, if we flip it over, has got 3 LED units. Each one's got 24 LEDs, and a quite substantial aluminium heatsink, which should mean that they don't overheat, and obviously you can adjust them however you want. The only thing really to say about that is if you do adjust it, I would want to avoid having the cable touching the heatsink, because obviously that is going to cause wear and tear. But you can get it quite far. I mean, that's all 3 of them pretty much upright, not perfectly upright, and the cables aren't touching, and then obviously you can adjust them so they're flat. So they'll probably be quite good in like almost a studio environment where you need plenty of light. I might mount one directly above this workbench just to give me more light for videos. The information it says on it: power 60 watts, colour 6000 to 6500K, and then just AC 85 volts to 265 volts, and it will do frequencies of 50 to 60 hertz. And in the UK most of the time we're at 50 hertz. Obviously you have small fluctuations, but only half a percent up and down, so that's fine. All of the brackets are held together with nut and bolt, and it's quite a firm adjustment. It doesn't feel like it's going to flop down, it holds its place. The only thing I would say is on these plastic earth fins, because it's double insulated, there's no earth point. So there's no earth point on this actual light unit. There's could be a bit of a problem if this was to become live. Could possibly get a belt off of this, so I would never suggest, well, I'd never suggest changing any light bulb with a light switch on. I know sometimes it happens by accident if you have a double switched lighting system, but in this case, yeah, I would make sure it's definitely dead before touching these, just in case something failed internally, say that was touching and shorted out, or say inside the LED unit itself one of those wires was touching the aluminium. Chances are slim, but with some Chinese made products, quality can be a bit poor, so something to bear in mind. This is plastic, quite substantial. I'd imagine that's got all the drivers and other equipment in it needed. It does look like it's slightly vented, maybe. Might be vented there, I'm not 100% sure. You can get a version of this with a PIR in, which I think is quite a good idea, but it only stays on for 2 minutes. It doesn't really interest me, because although it might save time or save electricity, having it switching off every 2 minutes is going to be quite inconvenient. And as far as I could read online, there was no adjustment for that. So I've managed to mount one of these already. I've got it in the garage. It's pretty simple. Once this was mounted, it's just a case of screwing the light into the light fitting, which is straightforward. I mean, you get a certain amount of adjustment as to where you want it to end up, so you can unscrew it a little bit to go backwards and forwards if you wanted it at a certain angle, but it seems to work fine like that. It's quite substantial. I don't think there's any risk of this just falling off of the garage roof and onto anything and damaging it. So I think you'll be fine in that respect. So like I said, bought these for £25 on Amazon. Seems like a decent piece of kit for the money. Like I said, small safety concern about the lack of an earth on here, but it's not unusual in the UK to not have earthing on older lighting circuits. Nowadays most people earth everything because it's just a lot safer if you have a something metallic that could become energized. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look at one of the light fittings fitted. It's a bit hard to demonstrate the amount of light that comes out of it because of the fact I've got all the other lights on the same circuit, but we shall give it a go. Right, so there you can see the light fitted. As you can see, it's very bright, and the camera probably struggling to pick up the brightness, but it's very impressive. The sort of light fitting I had before is one of those tubes there, and one of those the capacitor popped on last night, and obviously like I said, it's all got to be rewired. So this one here I've just rewired to where the original light was, across, connected this up, and it all works fine. So yeah, I'm impressed. I don't think heat's going to be an issue. I had to touch of the light after it'd been running a while and it all felt good, no signs of overheating. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll try my best to review more products.